Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Upanishad Shabdena Brahma Vidya Uchyate. We all know Vidya means knowledge. Knowledge of chemistry, knowledge of mathematics, knowledge of yoga, knowledge of bhoga, knowledge of health, knowledge of disease. This is knowledge of. By Upanishad, what is meant is not the knowledge of anything, but the knowledge itself. See? In the words of J. Krishnamurti, we say, it is objectless awareness. We are aware of something, not of. When the object is deleted, thereafter, the objectless awareness, what remains, is what is meant by the word Upanishad. So, when we take the book in the hand, for our conversation we can always say, this is a book of Upanishad. But Upanishad is not a book. See? So, when we talk Upanishad and we try to analyze what Upanishad means, there are two things in this word Upanishad. One is called as prefixes. Prefix is upasarga. And second is called as the dhatu or the root, from what this word is formed. So the upasargas are two. Upa, ni, and shada is the dhatu. This shada dhatu has three meanings. Himsa, gati and avasadan, three of them. So, upa means near, ni means with commitment. When these two things are brought in a seeker, he goes to Upanishad. So, the shad has three meanings, which means gati means the destination. What is the ultimate destination we are seeking in our life? Here you are all yoga students. I am sure you will become extremely angry after listening to me. But I don't care. As you don't care what I talk, why should I care what you talk? But I am going to talk to you the truth as told in the scriptures. So, gati is the destination. What is the destination of our life? Going to hell or heaven? You don't have to go to hell and heaven. Socrates said, every man should get married, and if he gets a good wife, he is in the heavens. If he gets a terrible one, he becomes a philosopher. I am not that type. So, gati destination, then himsa. Himsa is destruction. We all carry 4 wrong notions about ourselves in life. One notion is about ourselves as to what we are. Second notion is about the world, what this world is. The third notion is about God. And the fourth notion is about what is spiritual practice. Unless these 4 notions are totally destroyed, we will be groping in the darkness, as most of the students do meditation. For them, what is meditation? In a dark room, because they switch off the light when they do meditation, because it is a bad thing. It should be done only in darkness. Should not be done in the light. Meditation in light? No, in darkness. So, in a dark room where there is no black rat. That rat was being searched by a blind man on an Amavasya night and struggling. Where is that rat? That is our meditation. What we want? See, friends. So, destruction, wrong notions about the spiritual practice. Upanishad. And the third thing is avasadhan. Avasadhan means loosening. The impact of this relative world will be loosened on our life. We live in the same world. But earlier, we used to become miserable for no count. Now the miseries become miserable. We are at peace in spite of the world. These three things put together allow the divinity that we are to manifest. This is the meaning of the word Upanishad. See, friends. There are three aspects in our life. One is the material world where we live. That is called technically as Adi Bhautik. I tell in between Sanskrit words just to impress upon you, I know Sanskrit. Otherwise, with these great wise people, wise means in Sanskrit. So before them, if I talk something without Sanskrit, oh, he doesn't know anything, Sanskrit. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati dukrum karane. So, that is called Adi Bhautik. The field where we live. The field after what we are mad. The field which we want to embrace and collect more and more possessions. That is Adi Bhautik. Second thing, Adi Daivik, wherein we are all the time struggling to fulfill our desires whether we deserve or not. See, when we go to the temple, do Upasana, it is nothing but Adi Daivik. And what is Upasana? In Upasana, we go before the Lord. Oh Lord, you know I am good for nothing. But you can do anything, See, there is nobody sinner like me. And you are the one who can uplift the sinner. Therefore, we make a good match. And therefore, please help me. So, this is our devotion. Upasana. And such people are extremely weaklings. For every small little thing, God, 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 God. They lose their self-confidence. On the contrary, if you are devoted to the Lord, you should have real confidence. He is with you. What is there to be afraid of? See, friends. And then such people, all the time they only think about one thing, that I should have the vision of God. I guarantee you, seeing God has helped nobody in this world. Seeing God has no meaning. See? Like, there are many Mahatmas who are worshipped by their followers as Bhagavan. Many of them. And they lived with that Bhagavan God, their Guru Maharaj, not for a day or two, but for years together, and see their personal life disgusted. What is the use of seeing God? In Upasana, they get lost in this wrong notion of Upasana. And then the third comes the Adhyatmik. So Adi Bhautik, the world, Adi Daivik, seeking help from the higher forces so that we can fulfill our desires. And the third one is Adhyatmik. We have to now start working on ourselves. See, friends, like many seekers, they come and ask us. This happened on Singapore airport. I was sitting comfortably, enjoying the chaos. People running here and there, when is the flight, all kinds of things. And I had about 2-3 hours gaps. I was sitting comfortably, enjoying the chaos. One gentleman came from nowhere and he said, "Can I sit here?" I said, "How do I know whether you can sit or not?" No, can I sit? I said, "I don't know. You should know whether you can sit or not, or you have got a back problem, you have got a knee problem. How do I know?" See? Question should have been, "May I sit? Can I sit?" I said, "Sit." And then he said, "I am doing meditation for last 30 years. I said, "It's your problem, not my problem." No, I got only one problem. The problem is, my mind becomes more agitated and disturbed when I sit for meditation. What should I do? I said, "Stop meditation." What is important? See? No, but I am told I should do meditation. Then suffer silently. See, friends, we are unable to learn from our experiences. See, friends, Upanishad is that experience which we gain when we learn from our own experiences. See, friends, therefore, a seeker who is leading an intelligent life and not a life of an intellectual, the intelligent life will be karmani, we do the karma. For what we are doing karma? What is the purpose? Think about it. If we are to look within, till date, what we have achieved in our life. There is one mantra in Upanishad, Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaham nirvedamayat na asti akritaha krutena tad vijnanartham gurumeva vigached samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Parikshalokan karmachitan. Whatever karma, whatever we were doing in our whole life, pause. Look back. What we have achieved. See, friends, right from childhood till date, we have done only one thing. Try unsuccessfully to fulfill our desires. Other than fulfilling the desires, there is nothing that was the goal of our life. See? Balastavat krida saktaha, tarunastavat taruni raktaha, vruddhastavat chinta saktaha, parame brahmani kopina raktaha, bhaj govindam, bhaj govindam. Only the types of the toys change, but our struggle to fulfill our desire continues. Friends, Upanishad begins in our life, not from the books. Upanishad begins in our life when we start learning from our own experiences of life, and he who learns from every experience of life, he grows wise with every experience. And a person who doesn't learn, he grows old and otherwise. And when an old otherwise people has to say something about this world, nothing except complaints. आजकल के बच्चे बड़ों को आदर नहीं करते. One common complaint we hear. Now, what is there for us to be respected by the younger generation? Is there something worth? Because we are grown up. In growing up in the age, what is our contribution? It is the poor earth which is running around the sun, and we are growing in age. What is our contribution? See, if even the tree grows. Therefore, we have to learn from every experience. Upanishad says, Pariksha Lokan. Lokan means Anubhavan, your experiences. See? What is our experience of life? In the childhood, you must have been doing it with your children or grandchildren. They see the various digital games. some advertisement, I want that game, and the condition is, hum do hamara adha adha. One child and two parents. So all their love is not sprinkled on the child. It is hose-piped on the child. So whatever that useless, dumb child wants, it is given. The child doesn't know the word no in his life. He doesn't know how to share. Whatever I want, I should get it. That becomes his right. And we think we are prosperous society. See? And one game he sees, so the mummy daddy are sitting in the front seat, and daddy is driving the car, mummy is driving the daddy, and both of them are driving the traffic on the road crazy. And the child is sitting in the back seat and playing. He has no interest in anything, was playing. By the time he reaches home, that game has become old. Throw it away. New game. Conclusion, be attentive. Nothing in this world can attract and entertain human mind for long. Is the rule. Take anything in your life. Our likings have changed. Our priorities have changed. Our values have changed. Because mind cannot remain entertained and fixed on the same theme for a longer period of time. That is the reason why the people seek divorce. They get bored of each other. Anybody in the Western society, they are very clear. Come on, we are not clicking, okay? So they separate. Stay in the same house, but no more husband and wife. See, friends, we don't learn this from our mind. That what we are trying to do is to give so many different ideas so that the mind will remain at peace, but it doesn't. Pariksha lokan. See, friends. Then we go further and again inquire. For example, we take tea in the morning. I don't know about you. I take tea in the morning at about 4 o'clock. So I prepare my tea and take a cup of tea. If I don't take a cup of tea, I get very disturbed. Tea. So wherever I go, I have got my electric kettle with me, and I don't need anything except one dip bag and water. That's it. So if I don't get tea for whatever reason, the mind starts the japa. Tea. And when I get a cup of tea, aha, Brahmanandam Paramasukadam. And then I conclude, the happiness has come to me from tea. Because when I did not have a cup of tea, I was disturbed. When I got a cup of tea, I am happy. So conclusion is, happiness has come from tea. But we don't analyze. If tea had the alkaloid called as happiness, like the caffeine or nicotine it has, in the same manner, if there is happiness as the content of the tea, everybody should become happy after taking a cup of tea. See? But everybody doesn't become. But then I cannot negate my own experience. Then what is that? Where from the happiness is coming? So we start further inquiry. When I had no cup of tea, mind was agitated. When I had a cup of tea, mind is quiet. So conclusion, agitated mind is misery and undisturbed mind is bliss. See? This analysis and understanding from this analysis is Upanishad. See, friends, why we are not able to learn? Because we are obsessed. We don't want to change ourselves. Friends, spiritual life is when we are able to change ourselves and when we are ready to change ourselves. See, most of the people under the disguise of spirituality, they want the other people to change. And such people who want others to change, they become social workers. A social worker is the one who is utter failure in his personal life and therefore wants to take a revenge on the society. And then his social work will be what? Whatever I say, if that is done, then it will be good for you. See, friends, I'll tell you an experience I had many years before, maybe about 30 years or more. I was going from Allahabad to Howrah, and my host somehow pushed me into the train, giving it, those days the ticket used to be the small ones. So I mean, this is your ticket, and with great difficulty we could reach on the platform, and the train was moving and I was pushed inside. I got inside. After some time, the TT came and he said, "Hey Babaji, ticket dikhao." So I showed him. He saw that. "Get down." I said, "What is wrong?" "You have no reservation. Go in the general compartment." And the train is moving. I said, "I can't go in the moving train. I will fall down, die." Okay, next station you get down. He was talking in Hindi, of course. UP means Hindi. There people even laugh in Hindi. If you laugh in English, it is not allowed. So, I had no choice. So what to do? I was standing near the toilet with my bag. And again that TT came. "You are not going?" Then I thought how to protect myself. Then I started talking to him in English. And I told him, "Sir, I have a morning lecture there. I cannot afford to lose this train. It's a question of a big job. Please allow me. I won't disturb you." Now he could not reply in English. Therefore, "ठीक है, my work is done." From that day onward, Angreji Maiya ki jai. राष्ट्रभाषा में बोलो तो काम नहीं होता, अंग्रेजी में होता है. Thereafter, as on the suitcase I was sitting, and it was 3-tier compartment, all people sitting in the corner, one lower berth, middle berth, upper berth, 6 of them. 4 were occupied, and the lower berth where this person was sitting, he had comfortably opened his bottle of liquor, glass, and he started his sadhana. And when he saw, he told me, "Hey Babaji, how long will you stand?" I said, "Till we reach Howrah." No, come and sit here." So I went and sat next to him. And as the level of spirituality started increasing, he started going into a meditative poise, Shambhavi Mudra. He started in that. And when he was not able to hold, so I said, "Please sit down, I'll help you." So I took the bottle and poured in his glass and gave him. And all the people around, Babaji bhi aise lagta hai. See? And somehow we have gone through, and then he slept, facing his head to the window, and his charan kamal were in my god kamal. And I had to go through, no choice. And then the liquor did its job. Maybe last 2-3 hours, he got from the sleep, went to the bathroom. He said, "How long are you going to sit like that? Now you don't sit." So I stood up. I said, "Okay, I'll stand up." No, you sleep now. I will sit down." See, he made me sleep. And then when I went to Howrah, so many people came to receive with a garland, namaskar, chamatkar, all kinds of things. Then he said, "Hey, you are a big man." I said, No, these people are great. Be attentive. The one who gives respect is superior than the one who receives respect. But we have this wrong notion. People are respecting me, therefore I am great. No. See how wrong we go in our life. I said, no, they are great, therefore they are respecting me. I am just a lecturer, nothing more than that. He said, no, I can't accept it. Please tell me, what should I do for you? I said, I don't need anything. Don't do anything. He said, you never told me even once, don't drink. On the contrary, you helped me. I said, look here, I got a simple rule in my life. Only Bhagwan Krishna comes in my life in any form. This is the rule. So last night, he came in a spiritual form. I had no problem about it. He said, no, I want to give you something. He took out 10,000 rupees from his pocket and gave. I said, I don't need, I won't take. Then what do I do? I said, okay, you want to do something? You find out any child who is not able to study because of shortage of money and help 1, 2, 3 children, whatever you can do. You know what he said that day to me? He said, today, whatever may be your name, today I promise you, I'll stop drinking from today. And all the money that I have been spending on drinking, I will give it to some place where education is supported. Friends, it is easier to find out somebody's fault and ask them to change. That is not Samaj Seva. That is imposing our views on others. Many people, under the disguise of spirituality, they want to... See, everybody should study Gita. Why? You study if you like, and you demonstrate that Gita in your life. Then it will have impact on others. See? Otherwise, people like us, they talk on Gita. Trividham narakassedam dvaram nashanam atmanaha kama krodhas tatha lobaha tasmad etat trayam tyajet. And the audience goes clack. And in between somebody comes late, somebody gets up and goes out, and this Babaji becomes angry. Why you are coming late? And what did you say? Anger is the gateway to hell. Babaji straight away. Friends, spiritual life begins when the knowledge is demonstrated in our life. Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat. So if we have learned that the happiness doesn't come from the objects, it comes from the mind which is free from the burden of desires. If this is understood and accepted by us in letter and spirit, now tell me, what will be the spiritual life? Fulfillment of the desires or transcending the desires? See, friends, our spiritual life is only try to fulfill the desire, collect more and more. For what? See? And therefore such people remain body-oriented throughout life. For them only thing is that I should remain healthy. What will you do with the health? Health cannot be the goal of life. All our terrorist bandhus, they are all healthy. Have you ever seen any terrorist coming with a gun in the hand? Hey, come on, hold here, I got a back pain. No. Health cannot be the goal of life. With the healthy body, what will you do? Live long for what? Converting the food into garbage? Think, friends. Be very attentive. In the scale of evolution, we have come up to the top. Plants are the lowest one. Animals are in between. Human beings are the top. Beyond human beings, if there is any evolution possible, it can be only spiritual evolution. Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, Etad buddhva buddhiman syat krutakrutyascha bharata. Having known this, having experienced this, one attains fulfillment in life. So the goal of our life cannot be fulfillment of desires. but the fulfillment in life. And this cannot come from outside. It can come only from within, when we are able to analyze our experiences. So, pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat. Such a wise seeker definitely shall attain nirveda, means dispassion. See, dispassion and depression, they are almost alike. In both the cases, there is a withdrawal from the world. मूड ही नहीं लगता कुछ करने को. Oh, you are a great dispassionate person? No, doctor told me I had to take some medicine. Depression. Friends, withdrawal from the world under unhealthy condition of the mind is called as depression. Withdrawal from the world under the healthy condition of mind is called as dispassion. And when we have dispassion, we are not slaves either to the world or to the sense organs or to the mind or to the intellect. Then alone the freedom is discovered. Discovery of this freedom is experiencing Upanishad that we are. See, friends, how much we are dependent on the things. And because of that, we keep on accumulating, possessing things. There is no end to it. See, friends. So, living at the Adi Bhautik level is collecting more and more things and increasing our possessions. See? It happens in most of the people's life. In the beginning of their life, the person who is working or she is working, they have got limited resources. They stay in a rented room, not even one BHK, one only B, no HK. And slowly they grow, their family grows, and in a small place they are still living, and the children are now grown up, they have got their wings, they fly out in their own field. By this time, this old couple has sufficient money, and then they want to buy a huge flat, 5-bedroom flats, and they buy, and thereafter there is nobody to live in that flat. And what for is this done? No reason. See, friends, and not only that, collecting the things outside, but their whole attention is only on the body. See, Yoga Shastra students tell, Shariram Adya Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. Sadhanam means. See, like by the car, by means of car, I came to Kaivalyadham. Then that car has to be left outside. Then by means of the shoe, I entered this hall. Then shoes have to be left there. They are only means. They are not the goal. Healthy body is only a means. By the means, where do we want to reach? What is the destination? See, friends, therefore, unless we rise above this Adi Bhautik burden on our head, we will never be able to enter the spiritual or the Adhyatmic area. Now what happens? Because we are so much obsessed with the worldly things, we want nothing but fulfilling our desires at any cost. And we can't do it. But we have got extreme value for the money and the worldly possessions. Then what do? Then we go to the temple. We go to the church, we go to the mosque and ask God, oh God, give this, give this. So, those places, instead of remaining the destination, instead of keeping God as the goal of our life, we make the worldly achievements as the goal of life, and God becomes a means. So we tell God, oh God, I am going out of Bombay for 1 month, kindly take care of my house, okay? So God is standing there with a danda in the hand. Acha beta, main aaj khada hu yahan. See, friends, the goal of our life has to be clearly understood. And this can come only if we analyze our experiences. So, Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayad, when dispassion becomes the mainstay of our life, you discover freedom. Sarvam paravasham dukkham, sarvam atmavasham sukham, etad vidyat samasena lakshanam sukha dukkhayoh. All dependence is misery, all independence is freedom. How many things and beings we are dependent. Every small little thing, if that is not there, we are disturbed. See, friends. So, nirvedamayat, and then such a dispassionate person alone can think of something higher in life. See, this happened in Ahmedabad, Maninagar, RK Mission, Ramakrishna Mission. There was one talk, a big crowd, and after my talk was over, when I was coming down from the stage, one youth, must be in his mid-20s or so, he was climbing the thing. Sir, I got a question. I said, let me get down. I got down. And he had a helmet like a baby. My question is, he started, what is wrong if I run after girls? I said, nothing wrong. Run. This is your age. If you want a company, I am available. No, what is wrong? I said, no, there is nothing wrong. Run. Who stopped you? See, he was so nonplussed. Normally, what would have been the expectation? No, beta, you should not run after the girls. You should run after the donkeys and bullocks. I said, no, run. Very good. Keep it up. This is the age. It is better to run after girls when you are young than running in old age. He got so disgusted. You are not understanding my problem. I said, my dear, you are not clear about your problem. Your problem is not running after girls. Your problem is when you want to study, your mind is not available to you. Your mind is all the time running here and there, either in the places or in the people or in the memories. And as a result, you are a utter failure because your mind doesn't cooperate with you. This is your problem, is it not? Yeah, this is... We even don't know what is our problem. See? Then I told him, I said, look here, I got certain rules when I talk to somebody. Rule number 1, no discussion. Rule number 2, no argument. I will talk whatever I have to say. After that, the topic over. No further discussion. You accept, you don't accept, who cares? He said, okay. I told him, look here. When you have got a higher goal in life, lower things drop automatically. See? Like take these girls who are born as human beings, but the goal of their life is to walk on a catwalk on the ramp. That's the goal of their life. Now when they want to walk like a cat, they have to have a perfect figure. See? Our figure is 62, 62, 62 drum. A drum cannot go on the ramp. And to go there, you have to be very careful. How much calories, how much cholesterol, what is the weight, has 2 grams increase more. When you have got something to be achieved in life, lower things drop automatically. So higher the goal in life, lower things will drop. See, friends, our goal is like what, another example I'll give you. I was traveling between Delhi and Bombay many years before. Those days, these AC cars have recently started in the train. There used to be only the chair cars, no berths, etc. When I was coming, I got the seat in between. This side 3 seats, this side 2 seats. So in the 3-seater, I got the center seat. On one side, near the window, there was a huge Sindhi flowing out of the chair. And on the right side, there was a young girl sitting there. In between, I was a sandwich. See, Sindhi was pushing me. And if I go little near to this fireball, immediately the chain will be pulled. So I was extremely aware and awake all night. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So in the morning, when I had to go for the bathroom, I said, excuse me, I had to go to the bathroom. So that girl was sitting in the aisle seat. I went and came back and said, so she said, by the way, where are you going? Early morning, maybe about 5, 6 o'clock. I said, I don't go anywhere by the way, I go the right way. Hey, you talk sense. I said, do you think I am nonsense or what? She opened up. And I said, okay, where are you going? To Bombay for any job? Yes, I am an engineer. I got an offer. It's very good. Now what do you expect in your life? What is the dream of your life? I asked her. She said, okay, I'll tell you. I should have a beautiful house on the seaside, not a flat, a beautiful independent bungalow. I should have a very smart, intelligent, dedicated husband. I should have 2 lovely children and lot of money. Then I'll be happy. I said, very good. Now what all you said is only imagination. Intelligent and a husband who will listen to you. It is impossible. Dumb husbands only can listen. Intelligent husbands don't listen. Second thing, to have a beautiful house in Bombay, it is only a dream. It is nowhere. Then the third thing, 2 sweet children. Children are devils, they are not sweet. You are the parents, how much they suffer because of the children. And thereafter you will be happy. So what you are doing? That you are postponing your happiness on so many imaginary things. On the contrary, I give you right now. Do you want to be happy now and here? Of course. Do you want to be happy in the moving train? Yes. Do you want happiness with lot of efforts or effortless happiness? Do you want that happiness which will never disappear from your life? May anything happen? Yes, that is what I am telling. I said, yes, you are seeking right, but in a wrong place. That happiness which is effortless, which is here, which is now, which is undying, it is eternal, is you. Discover that. Thereafter, that girl became a very good friend of mine. So any problem she has, she says, Swamiji, this is what should I do? I said, remember 2 conditions? Yes, I remember. No discussion, no argument. Very good. See friends, once we start this basic principle, let us have some higher goal in life. Only healthy body is unhealthy goal. I had a good friend in Jet Airways, pilot. He was very cheerful, jolly, every day running about 10 miles, very fit. No smoking, no drinking, no non-veg. Perfect, theoretically. And one day he had a heart attack, and when I came to know, I went, he was operated, and he was lying there. He said, Swami, you have come to see me, thank you so much. I have got a question for you. I said, yes, go ahead. My question is, you know my life. I never had drinks, non-vegetarian or frustrated. No, I was cheerful, happy, good exercise and everything. Even then, why did I have the heart attack? I said, therefore you had the heart attack. Friends, Patanjali Maharshi clearly tells, jati, ayu, bhogaha. These three things are predetermined. Even God cannot change that. See? In Bhagavad Mahapuran it comes, when Bhagavan Krishna has completed his Leela at the age of 125 years. You know that Bhagavan Krishna lived for 125 years. Then one Vyadha, Vyadha means the one who is a hunter, Vyadha. From the Vyadha alone, the word comes Vyadhi. Root is the same. And the name of the Vyadha was Jara. Jara means old age. When Bhagavan Krishna's body has to go through that, your and my body, are they something divine? And what will you do with a healthy body? That's the most important thing. See, all the time, it is a mismatch. If the body is old, our thinking should be also mature. See? We can protect ourselves from becoming old, but we cannot protect ourselves from becoming immature. We continue in old age also. Immaturity is the insignia of our existence. Therefore, pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat, then the conclusion will be na asti akrutaha krutena. Most important principle. Anything which is done through action ends after the action is over. You must have seen these weightlifting people. And they are normally in the either teenage or below 25, 28, 30 maximum. So during that time, they have got only one thing: lift the weight, put it down, lift the weight, put it down. And what they achieve, the thigh muscles are shifted to the biceps. And how long will you keep on lifting and putting down? And after some time, they drop it. Then when this exercise drops, all the muscle mass which has accumulated on the upper part of the body slowly start descending down. And then their Madhya Pradesh becomes a huge structure like a helipad. Anything you do, it is bound to end. Anything. Asana you do, it will stop. Pranayam you do, you will stop. Breathing we don't do. It happens. Therefore, when we do pranayam, we get tired. We never get tired because of breathing. Do any pranayam. See? Anulom Vilom. How many times? Come on, do maybe about 25,000 times. 25,000 times Anulom Vilom, my nose will be broken into pieces. See? Because you are doing it. Breathing happens. See, friends. Therefore, nasti akritaha krutena. The ultimate cannot be achieved through karma. Don't give too much importance to karma, karma, karma. Enough of karma. See, friends. And you will see everywhere, they give so much importance to this karma and therefore they suffer throughout life. One or two examples I'll give you. This happened in US. One lady may be in her mid-40s. After some talks, she says, Swamiji, I want to discuss something with you about life. I said, I don't discuss about my life with anybody. No, about my life. I said, okay, start. She started. I am from Maharashtra, somewhere. And when I was hardly 18 or 19, I finished my schooling. And that time my father died. I had two younger sisters and a brother. I had no choice but to work. So I worked. and got my sisters educated, married, got my brother educated, married, and now they are all well settled. But now nobody wants me. My sisters straight away tell, Didi, when you come, our husbands get very disturbed, so avoid coming. My brother, whom I brought up so much, he also tell the same thing. Didi, when you come, my husband gets disturbed, my wife gets disturbed. What should I do? I said, I am also getting disturbed. Be attentive. When you did all these things, who asked you? You did on your own, is it not? Be very attentive. Never do anything to oblige anybody. Remember this basic principle of karma, if you don't want to suffer because of your karma. Whatever we do, nobody wants it. It is our need that we do the things. Otherwise, we have that arrogance. I have done so much, but the people don't recognize. Who asked you? When we were not in this world, there was nothing lacking. Leave this world, there will be no lacuna. If you don't believe, leave. And see. Therefore, our presence in this world is most uncalled for. See, friends, but ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. But we have that arrogance. I have done this, I have done that. Our Nisargadatta Maharaj used to say something very good. He used to say, all those who have come to save this world, they were shaved off. The world is as it is. Your Rama has come, Krishna has come and gone. All the great Mahatmas, Shankaracharya has come, gone. Madhvacharya, all the great prophets have come. The world is as it is. Uddhared atpadatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva atmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. We are in the human body only for one purpose. And that purpose is to discover our correct identity as to who we are. And this point we can come only when we come to this understanding through analyzing our own experiences. Na asti akrutaha krutena. Akruta means created, not created. Kruta means through creation. So, through the karma, nothing can be achieved. See, friends. Another question comes. Are you telling us to be lazy? Upanishad says, Kurvanne veha karmani jiji visheshadagam sama. Do karma and live for 100 years. This is how the wrong translation goes. Kurvanne veha karmani jiji visheshadagam sama doesn't mean live for 100 years. It means live every moment 100%. It doesn't matter how many years we live. Whether we are adding years to our life or we are adding life to every moment that we live. That is Upanishad. And then what is karma? Karma is action plus a sense of doership is equal to karma. What is the legal deed? Paper authenticated is called as a deed. If the paper is not authenticated by a proper signature, it is simply a paper. It is not a document. In the same manner, when we talk about karma, we are authenticating, I am doing this, then suffer. See, friends, therefore, Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, Ma karma phala hetur bhuhu. Don't become the cause of creating karma phala. Karma phala is created when we do the karma. And karma is when action is claimed to be, I have done this. Then the karma is born. See, friends, once these points become clear, then we will be able to go deeper into this karma or what this karma business is. Once I was in Switzerland and we went to some place and a nice spot, so we wanted to have some coffee. I said, hey, let's have some coffee. Beautiful place to sit down. When we went there, nice place, the name of that restaurant was Karma. So he asked me, Swamiji, what should we order? I said, you order anything, you will get only prarabdha. Because it is a karma hotel, isn't it? Be attentive. See, when we are taking food, that I am taking the food, karma has happened. And when after the food is taken, do we have that notion, I am digesting the food, don't disturb please? No. Digestion happens. Food is eaten by me. And therefore, when the food is eaten on Ekadashi day, oh God, I had done a mistake, I took food on Ekadashi, now what will happen? Nothing will happen, you will go directly to the hell. Because you have done paap. See friends, protect yourself from these wrong notions of spiritual life. One friend of mine, she is a Hindu and married to a Jain family. And her mother-in-law, now this lady whom I am talking, she also now old, must be about 65 or so. So her mother-in-law was naturally a Jain. And she was, in her Bombay language, Khadus. Throughout life, she tortured that daughter-in-law. But she was so cool, she really served her. Her even husband used to tell, why you bother so much about mommy? She's crazy, we are all fed up of her. But this girl, she said, no, I have to serve her, I am going to satsang, this is what we are told. So she served sincerely. Till the last moment, she even did not look at the daughter-in-law, and if she gives something, she used to throw on her face. That kind of crazy. And it so happened, she died on Ashadhi Ekadashi. Now this lady came to me, Swamiji, I have got a question. You know my mother-in-law, how terrible she was. I said, yes. Then, do you know, she died on Ashadhi Ekadashi. Do you think she will go to heaven or Vaikuntha? Question, is it not? People have this notion. If somebody dies on Ashadhi Ekadashi, he will go to Vaikuntha, etc. So I said, now let us analyze. Gain is always through knowledge. See? There is no other way of gain. If I don't have proper eyesight, I do not gain the knowledge of the colors and forms. If I do not have the proper hearing ability, I cannot gain the knowledge of sounds. So, gain is necessarily in the form of knowledge. Agreed? He said, yes. Now, when your mother-in-law died on that Ashadhi Ekadashi, did she know that today is Ashadhi Ekadashi? No. I said, then she will not go. Really? Very good. See, friends, our spirituality is this dumb type of spirituality. See, friends, therefore, when we are clear about these things, this principle of karma has a different purpose. Like, for the, when some stories are told, the stories have got a moral of the story. Is it not? When we tell the children's stories, moral of the story. In our Mahabharata, there is one story. Last time probably I told you. The story of Savitri and Satyavan. You know that story? Savitri was a great pativrata and Satyavan was a great husband. And one day he died. So this pativrata Savitri, she fought with Lord Death, Yamaraj, through argument. Even Yamaraj was defeated by that lady. And he said, okay, Baba, take your husband back. And she brought the husband back. Now, in the original Mahabharata, the moral of the story is, if the wife is dedicated to the husband, she is so powerful that she can even defeat death. That is the moral of the story in that context, in that place. But if you ask me, I have got a different moral of the story. You can be saved from death, but not from the wife. Moral of the story. See, friends. So, if be attentive, we are talking about law of karma. Give so much importance. Karma, 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 karma. Now, what exactly it means? Does it mean sending us to hell or heaven? See, it means, number one, we are all expert in blaming others for our problems. This is the default setting in us. All of us. See? Once, this 2005 when the deluge happened in Bombay, tsunami, 2005, no? Sometime, huh? So, the same time there was a Katrina problem in New Orleans in USA. I was nearby that place. And Bombay came to normal within 4 or 5 days. That New Orleans did not come to normal even after 1 year. So, one of my local American friend, he asked me, he said, how come India, Bombay also had a terrible tsunami problem. Within 4 days, that city came to normal. And how come we are not able to do it? I said, because you have a government and you depend on the government. We have no government. Therefore, uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet. We have no government. So we don't depend. See? Do your job. So when this karma principle is brought, be attentive. What it means, before this body was born, we were in some other form, and there we have done something good or bad. As a result of that good and bad karma, the karma phala we are experiencing in this life. Then here we are doing some mischiefs. And as a result of those bad karma or good karma, to experience the karma phala, this body is not capable, so you will discard this body, you will adopt another body. Therefore, who are you? You existed before this body was born. You are existing in this body. And when this body dies away, you continue to exist. When did you die? Law of karma, if it helps us getting freedom from the fear of death, then we have understood the law of karma. See, friends. And then going to hell and heaven. Heaven is not a place. See? Like in Bombay, somewhere in Andheri, there is one society. Many flats are there, 2-3 buildings. The name of the society is Vaikuntha Society. So there was some function and about 1,000 people were sitting. Somebody's anniversary. He said, from this time onwards, I will celebrate my anniversary in a spiritual way. Therefore, Swamiji is invited to celebrate my anniversary. So, I had to start my talk. Now what do I talk to them? I didn't know anybody. My dear Vaikunthavasi. Because they are staying in the Vaikuntha, is it not? So heaven is not a place. Swarga is Swarga Loka. Loka is experience, friends. See, we may give a name to our house, Swarga, and after marriage you become Swargavasi. No, that is not the way. Heaven means what? Kathopanishad defines heaven in the words of Nachiket. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti. Heaven is a freedom from fear. Our life is nothing but living every moment in fear. I am afraid I can reach there. I am afraid everything goes right. I am afraid. When will you be free from this fear, fear, fear? Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti. And the fears we have from three sources. First source is the body. Second source is the prana. The third source is the mind. From the body, the fear is jara and mrityu, old age and death. From the prana, the fear is hunger and thirst. And from the mind, the fear is shoka moha, the grief and delusion. He who is free from these six fears, he is living in heaven. See? Don't have to go anywhere. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti. Instead of recognizing this, we keep on talking, if you give this donation, you will go to heaven. There was one Kanjus, he died and he went to Yamaraj. So his attendants, they were checking the records and you go to hell. He said, no, I have given in charity 4 annas. So I want to go first to heaven. He said, it is not allowed here, you have to go to first to hell. No means no, you cannot go to heaven, you have to go to hell. So he started fighting arguments. Yamaraj said, hey, what is the problem? Why there is shouting going on? Sir, he is telling, send him to me. So this man goes. I have given four annas as a charity. I have a right to go to heaven. I'll go first to heaven, then to hell. Yamaraj says, take 4 annas back. Send him to the hell for all the time. Doing good and going to heaven, these are stories. See, friends, the world can be disciplined never by love. Drop that word, dummy word, love, love, love. I love you. I love dogs. I was in Lonavala, Kavadham, had a beautiful garden there. Nice rose flowers. So one lady came to meet me from somewhere. She plucked a beautiful rose from my own garden and said, Swamiji, for you. I said, you plucked from my garden? Swamiji, I really love flowers. I said, don't love me. Why? You'll pluck my head. I love Swamiji. Your love is destructive. See, friends, love, love, love. Therefore, karma means the burden of doership. Law of karma means never we were born, never do we die. Bhagavad Gita, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. Our childhood body, where it has gone? Our teenage body, where it has gone? Our middle-aged body, where has it gone? Has anything happened to us? Continue further. Let this old body drop. Who cares? When the earlier 3 bodies have disappeared, nothing happened to us. On what ground we say that I am going to die? See, friends, but why we get lost into that? Because according to our understanding, there is one soul per body. And this soul goes from one body to another body after death. See, this wrong notion about the soul has to be corrected. So on the spiritual path, there are mainly 2 things according to Upanishad. Number 1, freedom from body identification. Number 2, freedom from the notion that I am a soul, I am a jiva in this body. See, friends, Technically speaking, soul is called as Jiva and life is called as Jivana. Jivana means no Jiva. We are all life. Life is abhivyakti, manifestation. Life is not individuality, it is not a vyakti. Vision in the eyes is a manifestation of mind through the eyes. It is not individuality. So when the eyes are closed, nothing happens to the mind because it was the mind alone which was called as a vision because of the conditioning of the eyes. Think, friends. But we get carried away by that funny thing, papoham, papakarmaham. No, you are divine. Further Upanishad is, even if you do not know, even if you do not want, even if you do not care, you are divine. Don't condemn yourself. Papoham, papakarma. There is one very beautiful text, Sanat Sujatiya, where it is very clearly proved, death is an impossibility. There is nothing like death. Nobody has ever died. And we are afraid of that which has never happened to anybody. See, this is Upanishadic sadhana. And how we can continue this? The remaining thing will be presented before you in the next episode. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.